Today we're going to learn about what the equal sign means. So the equal sign is this symbol right here. We see it a lot in math, but we don't always know exactly what it means. So today we're going to explore that. So by the end of today, you should really have a better understanding of what exactly does that symbol mean in math. So let's look at first some examples of where you might see it. So one example might be in an addition equation. An equation means it's a number sentence with an equal sign in it. So I see over here 2 plus 3 equals 5. So we have the equal sign right there in red. You might also see it in subtraction. For example, 4 minus 3 equals 1. We can see the equal sign in the red there. You might see it in other math, like for example, you might see it when working with multiplication or division as you go on in math. But for right now, first graders focus on addition and subtraction. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. And today we'll specifically focus on addition. So as we look at what the equal sign means, we have to think about what it does not mean. And what it does not mean is the answer is. A lot of times as we're working in equations and we look at the equal sign, we have this misconception or this wrong thinking that the equal sign means the answer is. So as I'm looking at it, I can say, ooh, that means I'm trying to find an answer to something. So for example, if I have 2 plus 3, when I see that equal sign, I do not say the answer is 5. That's correct in thinking that the answer is 5, but that's not what the equal sign means. Think of it this way. If I flip that around, which I can, you might oftentimes see equations looking like this with the addition on the right-hand side instead of the other side. It might come second. So if I put it this way and say 5, the answer is 2 plus 3, it doesn't really make sense. So even though, yes, when we see it this other way, we often think of, yeah, I'm trying to find an answer, but that's not always what it is. So now that we know what it is not saying the answer is, then let's look at what it does mean. What the equal sign does mean is the same as. It means that both sides of the equal sign balance or are the same. So let's look here and use an example. If I use this one again of 5 equals 2 plus 3, what I want to look for is if I have the same amount or same value on both sides of the equal sign. So over on this side and over on this side. So let's use some cubes to explore that. If I have 5 purple cubes over on one side to represent the 5 on the left-hand side of the equal sign, then I can put over on the other side 2 red cubes plus 3 yellow cubes. What I want to look at is if I add or put the 2 and 3 together, is it going to be the same as 5? So when I put that together, yeah, in fact, it is the same. I have 5 over here, and I have 5 over here. So 5 is the same as 2 plus 3, because once I do the math, 5 is equal to 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. So both sides equal the same. Let's look at another example. If I have 4 plus 3 and 6 plus 1, I'm going to see if those are the same to see if I can put the equal sign in between. So looking at 4 plus 3, I have 4 purple and 3 yellow cubes. And if I look at 6 plus 1, I can represent that with 6 red cubes and 1 green cube. I'm going to test this out to see if both sides balance or are the same by connecting those cubes together and seeing how many I have on each side. So if I put the 4 and 3 together, I have 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 on that side. And if I look at the other side, I have 6, and 1 more is 7. So there's 7 on that side too. So I can really say 4 plus 3 is the same as or equal to 6 plus 1, because when I do the math, they're both 7. So they do equal one another. They are the same. Today you're going to show your knowledge of the equal sign, and you're going to use this recording sheet. This will be over on the counter like our papers normally are, so you can find it there. You'll need the paper, a pencil, and then some dice. Let's say I roll the dice and I roll a 2 and a 5. I'm going to record my thinking on my sheet and use the dice to fill in the side with the addition. So you'll notice that sometimes it's on the left and sometimes it's on the right. You can do it either way in math. When you're adding, it can be on either side. So we're going to practice having it on both sides. So when I have my roll of 2 and 5, I'm going to record my thinking. 2 plus 5. Then I want to see what that equals. So I can use counting on and do 5, 6, 7, recording my thinking. Or if I need to use counters, I can use counters and put out 2 yellow counters for my 2. And I can put out 5 red counters for my 5. When I count all of them together, then I would have 7. So I know what needs to be on the other side of the equal sign so that they balance out or are the same. So when I put 5 and 2 together, it really is 7. So I put 7 on the other side of the equal sign. Look at another example. Let's say I roll the dice again. This time I get 5 and 4. So you'll notice that it swaps this time and that the numbers I'm adding are on the right-hand side. And then I have just my single number on the left-hand side. So I'm going to record my thinking. Since my dice rolled a 5 and a 4, I'm going to record my thinking with a 5 plus 4. I can use any number of strategies. Let's try using counters this time. So I'll put out 5 counters for my 5 that I rolled. And I'll put out 4 more yellow ones for the 4 that I rolled. When I put those together, I see that all together I have 9 counters. So if this side of the equal sign is 9, then to balance it out, I need to put the number 9 on the other side because both sides have to be the same. When I put 5 and 4 together, that would be 9. So the number 9 balances out the other side. You'll continue doing all 4 of yours to record your thinking, and that goes in the turn and bin when you are finished. Let's take a look at your jobs. You'll see this slide up on the projector. So you'll start by watching the video like you're doing now, then filling out your equal number sentences sheet. Next, you'll go in and set your timer for 10 minutes to do Prodigy. Please only do 10 minutes of that and move on to your fact practice. If you would like to continue with Prodigy, then you can always go back if you have time at the end for your choice time. So your first job is your seat work, your paper, then Prodigy, finally going back and doing your fact fluency practice on MobyMax, or you can choose to do a round of extra math. Then if you still have time, you can make one of your choices of a partner game we've learned about, or one of the other math apps on your iPad. Remember that today the equal sign means the same as, so that both sides of the equal sign are the same.